This video is for recreational and educational purposes only. I want to show you how to set up self-watering planters. Some plants need evenly moist soil, such as begonias and alocasias. They also are good for African violets because they have a constant flow. When they need it, it draws up the water. But let me show you how you do it. First of all, I transplanted one plant. Let me show you. I have had to take this plant back out, and I want to show you how you make this wick. The wick comes like this. The wick comes like this. But what you have to do is tie a knot at the very bottom. The very bottom. And you make a knot like that. That way this wick is not up on the plant very far. In fact, I want to bring this down a little bit further. Yeah, more like that. Then what you do is you stick it down in the hole. Stick it down in the hole. As you can see, it comes out. The knot will not prevent it. It will prevent it from coming back down. So what I want to do is transplant an African violet. I have a huge African violet that I want to repot. This is in a 6-inch now, but I'm sure when I get it out of here, it'll be plenty of room to fit into a 6-inch pot. So gently tip over the plant. Get any old leaves off the top. This is when you can prune it at this point. Don't leave, don't take off the little flower things. Just some old leaves if you see old leaves. Okay, here's some old leaves. Okay. This is an old leaf too. Okay, and there are blooms. So I'm going to put it, I'm going to put some of this bark at the bottom and some perlite on top. I'm going to set this down so we know it's good and it's got the right height for the plant. I think you all know how high to fill the soil and how low to put the plant. So I'm going to fill this up, set this up straight, and fill this with some more of this perlite, orchid bark mix, and potting soil. The orchid bark mix will allow for good drainage and air circulation. Push it down around the outside of the plant so it fills in all the sides so they don't get air to the roots. Need to cover them all up. Some leaves I'm just pulling off. There's a couple down here too. Just old leaves, no flowers. Okay, this is almost planted. Put a little bit more of the bark. I usually put bark on the top of the plant so it keeps fungus gnats down and stuff like that, because they don't like to lay eggs on bark. Let me get some more bark here. Here's some more. There we go. And then I'm going to put a little bit of these perlite rocks on top. That way this plant will be good to go for quite some time now. So, like I said, plant will draw up the amount of water only far enough to get that little tip up in the plant. That way the plant will have enough time to dry out until it gets down to the bottom. If you have the wick all the way up, it's going to constantly get flow. So you need to adjust this wick to where it's just at the bottom of the base. And then you go and you put it back in this bowl, and you snap them down. You snap it down. Now, at that point, you get some more water. What you do is you have a little hole here. See this hole? If you fill this up with water, that way the wick can float down the bottom and draw up the water that it needs when it needs it. There won't be a constant flow of water but it will only take the water that it needs because the wick is so down so far in your plant. It won't keep the whole soil moist. It'll just wait till the bottom gets dry and then draw up some water. Okay, so there's my African violet. I'm gonna do a blue, Cebu blue Hotho. It's doing great, but I don't want to have a problem with watering it. I've noticed that sometimes it gets too dry, and I don't want that to happen. So here we have the same thing with the tie. In fact, let me cut some of this off. It's a little too I don't want it sticking up so far into the thing. So I'm cutting some of this off. That way it will only be the little bit up there. Flash it down into these little holes. As you can see, it's only the knot that's down there. You can see. It's only the knot, so it doesn't fall out. Now, let's see how we can do this. Need some orchid bark and some regular potting soil mix. Okay. Let's put some orchid bark at the bottom. Mix some of this perlite in it. This is coarse grade perlite. I want to show you. It's actually bigger than that other little styrofoam balls. This works much better. They're actually rocks. Can you hear me crunch them? They're rocks that help with the drainage. Big time. So let's see what we have here. We're going to squeeze the sides of the pot so it gets open. Now, let's see how easy this is. Good, 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 good. So we'll sit in here. Let me take some of this out so it can sit down deeper. Now with this, I have to take this out. Yeah, take that out. Okay, that's pretty good. I put some of that perlite on top. This should be doing fine now. All we have to do is get it in this self-watering pot. So. Get the wick all the way in and then snap them together. Okay, here we go again. So you can see this pot. It's the Cebu Potho, and it's doing very good. But I want to show you the opening in here where you put the water. Okay, so there we have it. Just wanted to tell you the wick is in the water and it's going up a little bit in the thing, only by the knot. So I just wanted to share that with you. And if you would like to subscribe and comment below, I would truly appreciate it. And you have a great day. Thank you for your time.